All right, friends, so this is still lesson 7.6, dividing by 6. The first strategy in Unlock the Problem was drawing a model. Okay, so some of you are very good at understanding when you see a picture. And then some of us can try this other way at the top of the next page, which is more of using number sentences instead of pictures, okay? So the first way is A. It says use a related multiplication fact. So if we're trying to figure out 24 divided by 6 equals box, we're trying to find what's the mystery number behind the box. And they kind of reminded us of some math vocabulary here. The first number in division is called the dividend. The second number is called the divisor, what you divide by. And then the answer is the quotient. Okay, so what I think about is, well, what number completes the multiplication fact if I were to flip this division equation around? So remember, division goes backward, or sorry, multiplication goes backwards of division. So I take the box and put it first. Then I'd multiply by 6. Then I would get the answer of 24. The total is at the end in multiplication. So what number do you multiply by 6 to get 24? And again, if you have learned your multiplication facts, you would know that that is 4, okay? For people who maybe don't know all of their multiplication facts, here, let's fill that answer in. Whoopsie. Let's get a color first. Orange. Put that in. Oh, that's a nice color. 24 divided by 6 is 4. Now, if you don't know your multiplication facts yet, then we can do this other option. Use factors to find 24 divided by 6. So right now, 6 is kind of a big number for us to divide by. We're not good at doing that mentally. So instead, you can think of the factors of 6, which are 3 and 2, right? When you multiply 3 times 2, it gives you 6. So it's kind of like we're taking 24 and we're going to divide it one step at a time, okay? So instead of by 6, we're going to divide it by 3, and then we're going to divide it by 2, okay? Because really, well, how do I want to put that? Let's not write it like that because that looks confusing. We can write it more like this. 3 times 2. It's kind of a little bit like the distributive property where we would do kind of, but not exactly. But anyways, we're going to do 24 divided by 3 and then take that answer and divide it by 2. Okay, so we'll take that out in case that's a little confusing or incorrect for technically how we would write it. But we'll just start with 24 divided by 3 is 8. Then 8 divided by the 2 is 4. Because remember, here's the two factors that really equal 6. We're just going to break it down a little easier into 3's and 2's. That's easier than 6, right? And 8 divided by 2, if you split 8 in half, it's 4. So 24 divided by 6 is 4. Because 6 is really like a 3 times a 2. Okay. Now for the next one, it says, how does knowing 6 times 9 equals 54 help you find 54 divided by 6? Well, that would go with this example, using related facts. Remember, multiplication is the opposite of division. So if you know that 6 times 9 is 54, if you flip that backwards, 54 divided by 6, then the leftover number in the fact family would equal 9. Okay, I want us to try one of these up here for this option B, one more of these, because I think a lot of you watching these videos might like this strategy. So let me give you another one to try on the side or maybe down here. Let's do, how about 18 divided by 6? So write that one down. Excuse me, my nose is itchy. And instead of dividing by 6, could you use the factors of 6 and do 2 steps here? So see if you can try that yourself. Pause the video, come back after you've tried it, and here's the steps that might help you. Okay, so hopefully you've tried that. So we're going to change 6 into a 3 first. 18 divided by 3. And if I think of 3 groups that would add up to equal 18, that would be 6. And then I take that answer and divide by the other factor of 6, which was 2. Remember, these two, the 3 and the 2, are the factors of 6. So instead of doing 6, we're going to do a 3 and then a 2. So now 6 divided by 2, I think that's easier for all of us. Take 6 and put it in half, which would be 3. So if you got 18 divided by 6 is 3, wait a minute, yeah. Then you are correct. Okay, you can pause this video and I'll start a new one for the share and show.